Okay, let's dive right into this explainer because we're looking at a pretty monumental shift in the project management landscape today, the rollout of the PMBOK Guide 8th Edition. Honestly, if you've got any hand in delivering projects, this is a change you absolutely need to get your head around. Let's unpack the core changes. Picture this new framework as the ultimate reset. For years now, there's been this massive growing demand from busy professionals who are practically begging for a practical bridge between high-level project theory and real daily execution. Well, this update answers that call directly. It's easily the biggest, most impactful update to the PMBOK guide we've seen in recent memory. And hey, this isn't just some theoretical update cooked up in a vacuum. 48,000. To put that in perspective, that staggering number represents the actual practitioner data points collected globally by PMI. It proves that this entire update was driven directly by the real-world challenges that project managers like us face in the trenches every single day. This quote brilliantly captures what I like to call the Goldilocks effect of PMBOK 8. It perfectly connects the why, the what, and the how. It strikes this really nice balance between the rigid, highly prescriptive nature of the older editions and, frankly, the overly abstract philosophy of the 7th edition. It's designed to be exactly what you need, right when you need it. So here's our game plan for today. We'll start with why PMBOK 8 actually happened, break down the 6 principles in 7 domains, look at the return of processes, touch on AI and modern delivery, and finally prep for the 2026 PMP exam. All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, why PMBOK 8 happened, or as I like to call it, the Goldilocks solution. Just look at the contrast here. While the 7th edition was entirely principle-based, literally 0 processes, the 8th edition takes that flexible, value-driven mindset and blends it with roughly 40 actionable, non-prescriptive processes. It finally gives you the actual structural mechanics you can use on a Monday morning when you sit down at your desk and think, okay, what do I actually do next? Moving right along to Section 2, let's explore the new architecture, the 6 principles and 7 domains. So PMI took the previous 12 principles and thankfully simplified them down to these 6 highly focused, overlap-free mandates. And what you should really take away from this is how modern expectations have evolved. Notice how integrating sustainability and building an empowered culture are now front and center mandates for every single project leader. That's a huge shift. Alongside those principles, we're also seeing a shift to 7 highly functional performance domains. You'll probably notice they dropped the word management from their titles completely. They've essentially tossed out the 7th edition's abstract domains and replaced them with familiar, concrete categories. Things like governance, finance, and risk. The stuff that actually mirrors your daily responsibilities. Now, on to Section 3, which I know a lot of people are excited about, the return of processes and the 5 focus areas. Do these look familiar? Yeah, the classic lifecycle is back as 5 focus areas. But hold on, don't be fooled by the familiar names here. These are no longer those strictly sequential, old-school waterfall phases. Instead, think of them as iterative areas of focus that work concurrently across both agile and hybrid projects. So you could totally be in planning and executing at the exact same time. And yes, tucked inside those focus areas, the beloved ITTOs have made a comeback. You're going to find around 40 processes, complete with inputs, tools and techniques and outputs. But here is the really vital distinction. This time around, they are a reference toolkit, not some rigid checklist. They're specifically designed for you to dynamically tailor to your specific project's unique context, which leads perfectly into this core philosophy, continuous tailoring for maximum value. Basically, this means you aren't just blindly following a standardized checklist anymore. You're continuously tweaking your approach. Like maybe you're seamlessly transitioning between predictive contracts for one vendor and agile partner agreements for another, and you're doing all of this to protect and drive organizational value. That brings us to Section 4. We're looking at AI and modern delivery, basically the essential tools for today's PMO. You knew it was coming, right? PMBOK 8 explicitly tackles artificial intelligence right in Appendix X3, and it completely transforms it from just another corporate buzzword into a genuinely practical tool. AI is now framed around predictive risk forecasting, automated schedule optimization, and smarter decision-making. But crucially, and they make this very clear, it positions AI as an augmentation tool to empower you, absolutely not a replacement for your human judgment. It's also super clear that modern delivery is heavily blended. Agile and hybrid methodologies now command roughly 60% of the project landscape, while predictive sits at about 40%. The takeaway here is that these approaches aren't isolated in silos anymore. They're woven directly through every single performance domain, which, let's be honest, just reflects the reality of how work actually gets done today.
Finally, let's dive into Section 5 and talk about the 2026 PMP exam. Here's exactly what to expect when July 9th rolls around.
Okay, prepare for a bit of a shock to the system. The exam content outline has drastically reweighted the three core domains. The people and process domains are actually shrinking, while the business environment domain, that absolutely explodes from a mere 8% all the way up to a commanding 26% of the entire exam. Furthermore, the syllabus itself has been condensed, shrinking from 35 high-level tasks down to just 26 high-impact ones. And with governance now elevated to Task 1, every single question is going to carry heavy structural weight. They aren't testing you as just a schedule manager anymore. They are testing you as a strategic business leader. And the testing experience itself is evolving too. You're going to face a highly interactive, scenario-driven exam where rote memorization is, well, pretty much entirely useless. You'll have to interpret visual graphics like burn-down charts on the fly. To succeed, you have to follow 3 golden rules. Always analyze before you act, dig deep for the root cause of a conflict, and relentlessly prioritize stakeholder value above absolutely everything else. So, to conquer this, your winning study stack definitely needs an upgrade. You've got to integrate the 8th edition guide, the brand new 2026 exam content outline, the Agile practice guide, and those dynamic digital templates housed in the PMI Standards Plus platform. Honestly, relying on outdated materials now is just going to leave massive gaps in your preparation. Ultimately, PMBOK and this whole resulting exam overhaul really force you to answer one critical question. Are you a task tracker, or are you a strategic business leader? This entire update is designed to shift your mindset away from merely checking off deliverables, challenging you instead to drive genuine, sustainable value for your entire organization. So which role are you going to step into?